only so much time here, and I'm not wasting anybody's time, and I certainly don't waste mine. And what I mean is that we have satisfactory experiences, however hard they are. It reminds me of a time when I was walking down the hall for the last time when my mom was dying. And we don't have to have these experiences. I guess we can be an executive across the world and say, oh yeah, well, mom died. All right, well, I'll send you some flowers, or I don't know. But I chose to be there. I was really close to my mom, particularly, really, she's one of my spiritual leaders. She's actually a lot of people's spiritual influence, not just my mom. And I mean that in a very real way. And that's just me. Even my own brother probably has a different experience for her, of her. But see, he's he and I'm I, and it's like, wow, when it comes to men and women, we're totally different people. So, but I don't believe that as much as except for yeah, maybe so. I don't know. We have yet to figure that out. What are men and women? But anyway, of course, I want to talk like reflecting just more astrologically. You see, I am a wounded person, and we all are, though. See, this is the thing. This is like it's exactly what I wanted to talk about. Why does it feel like? Do you ever feel like this too? It's like, well, you know what? You have to break down um, yourself because everybody else is right. There's something wrong with that. You know what I mean? It's like, I know I have to break down, but it's not like for everybody else and just conform to what? What do you mean? There isn't anybody else. See, a lot of people are feeling right now, and I've heard it on here. Man, it doesn't matter how much I reach out. Um, there's just nobody comes for me. It's like that's not really true. You're just not really looking. And if you knew, like, if you just back up and realize the sign of the times right now, what's happening is that everybody's shifting. Can you appreciate? You can appreciate this, right? I'm going to try with all my might, with the very little real life donations that have come in, support to keep being what I'm supposed to be here. See, I think I'm around, well, particularly it's just in my 3D realm. Of course, my neighbors can give a fuck if I live or die. And it's looking like my community is kind of the same way. But I understand that they are nervous around me. You have to be kind of fiery to be around me. I admit. You have to have a lot of love. I am not going to accept anything else really. And there's where I'm in trouble. I, I um I'm really because I'm like this, and if it's really love, I'm gonna start to feel better. That's just the way love is. I'm not being one-sided either, saying that oh no, because I'm not devastated in loving myself. Accepting only love coming at you as in the form of people that think they can come and encroach on you, and especially in 3D, is a form of loving yourself. Okay, I know how to do that just fine. Loving yourself with other people is a possibility instead of doing something else like just making yourself look good. That's what narcissists do. And so that they are the ones who have the biggest circles of friends. When you keep it small, you know that you're most likely that much more self-sufficient. That's very important. Right now, we are so up in the air. When it comes to our resources and stuff, and like how that money has been the main thing to get us a bottle of water, we are heading into such fucking emergency. We are. I noticed the creek was running back over there. It's like, well, I wonder what kind of water that is because it's looking black. It's not the water that's black. It just nothing's living in it. I don't know. I'm a super sensitive person, and people don't even take that seriously. And here's what I want in my life now is just if they ever come in my life and see you're kind of here, but you're not. If it's however many people that see, you're not in my life right now. If you're watching this, and I'm not in your life right now, no matter how many videos that I'm gonna fucking make this clear to Meta. It's like no, this is what you're losing it, man, because we are in the delicacy of outer space. which is 3D reality. I'm not going to knock it. It's like the superior God here. I don't care about your 5D, but yes, I do. When you understand something that I understand about, what I mean, get right with the relationship of outer space, and then there's the truth in it, and then there's other minds there. And I'm having a problem with other minds right now. It's there it is. They just encroach, and they're saying, nope, I'm more real than you. And it's like, wait a minute, it's such the disgusting thing to see it just rolling out in front of your face, and you're like, you know what? It's the same signature. You know, you want to talk about your narcissist and the styles they have. Okay, there's that trauma bond thing that goes on, and there's so many styles of that. And but the main thing, what is the main thing? Just narrow it down. And pardon me, this is a very, I don't like the subject matter because it's so painful. That trauma bond thing is the most painful thing. It is so confusing. It is so wretched. But it's just 80% of people out there. It's 90%. No, that's the normal. It's normal. And the bickering that goes on with these people, just the pure, just mind bending. Now you're in their house of mirrors, and you're going to have a conversation about the conversation that you had, and they're going to, and they are, all they want to do, and it's all turned around on you. See, the thing is when you're approached in a narcissistic state because you are suffering and you are in a mode of trying to survive, and you have a weird way about you, it's a temporary state, you see. It's not permanent in us. You're in danger of attracting a permanent narcissist that says, oh, they have a mask on, and it's like, God, I know you're downer. Is this what might be happening? I really don't know. Uh-oh, I'm starting to get my tooth is acting up again. Coming on, changes, and that's okay, I'm not getting any younger, I'm not, I can't be around this society that is going to use me only for my looks and for a very superficial reason. I'm a soulful person. I am aiming for, if it's the next 24 years of my life that I can be alive here, or however long it is, I'm going to aim to be completely me and continue on what I'm supposed to do. And that is, part of it is to be a very clear communicator and motivate people to at least think on their own. And if it's just one person that I influence, see, I've influenced just one person once before with my music playing. It was a little kid, and I used to play live, and it's the live play that you have to catch me, babes. And then you'll say, what the hell just happened? Because then, of course, I would have gotten my shit together, and there's maybe a venue. Oh boy, if that happens. See, I'm used to just live play, and I can sit in, and it's impressive to a lot of people. I have sat in with Marshall Hawkins. I've sat in with a jazz band over there. I mean, I did it once, and they're all like, dang, I played the drums. And it was just there's a party. I live in a place here where um, famous people could come and go. They do own places up here in the private places. Anyway, it's turning more and more like weird, and I know that they probably flew out. A lot of people flew away. Like, I think a lot of celebrities they don't live in the United States, right? It's a hellhole. Anyway, getting back to, I wish that I can find the impossible thing. It seems that it's the top of the line thing. It's like, yep, Shauna needs to make an escape to the place that she belongs. I have this thing on my, I don't know if it came out right on my Facebook just now, but it says, you see, I'm being called to fast. I get called to fast when and there's a reason, because I channel. I need to be protected, and see, if people who up close to me understand what I had just said, instead of they're probably programmed in a totally different way, like Mr. Smith that says, uh-oh, one of God's filaments is lighting up over there. I think I should go and pound on it with this game we're playing. It's a video game, and I put this weird post on my the the Facebook that talks about Stockholm syndrome, where you end up loving your abuser because they pretty much just traded your whole self out for a false self. It's that false self that is down and out. It's temporary. Do you need help or something like that? But I don't know. There's many versions. See, I'm not familiar with it because I admit I don't know. I had a healthy mother who wouldn't allow an abuser too long around her, and then boy, if especially if it gets physical, poor thing, and and so I was left with that. We were left with each other. She left me, which is to see it was never like a personal thing. I lost my dad, as far as I'm concerned. I lost the love of my life to what? Well, he wasn't really available. And that's not my problem. I am not handicapped by that. I'm actually empowered. I'm like, oh God, and I actually feel it's a kind of okay, it is a handicap because all of it would happen with me is that I feel sorry for that person. And I'm there, kind of in his dark black hole, kind of like, oh, and it's like, babes, you need to let go and go shine. Just go be you. He doesn't care if you're there or not. He, in such a way, it's like this. I hate to say it like that too, but he gave me everything. No, I don't complain about my dad really in such a. I'm not saying. Hear me? It's because, in fact, it was a weird situation. He wasn't a perfect person. He may have had something and like that was masked. We don't know. See, it's weird with men and women here, isn't it? God, I hate this fucking video. I hate these times we're going through, but boy, aren't we going through? I'm equipped for it. Yeah, begin the video. Let's rewind it back. I'm walking through the hallway. It's the last walk, and I am so terrified. Well, I chose to sleep with my mom during her time of passage. I don't know. I chose that. I don't know. I don't know. Am I that miserable? A lot of people would just say, no, you should go. Maybe just go to the coffee shop and wait and get the phone call. But no, my head was on her chest, and I heard her heart beat little by little by little, and it just went away. So peaceful and calm, and pretty much I remember just the way it went was the way her whole life was. She was so loving and peaceful. She had Venus and Libra, but it was square to Mars and Cancer. And we have Mars and Cancer now, and it's a very difficult place for Mars. And it was square her Saturn, which is very difficult. I mean, it was conjunct Saturn, which is a very difficult placement. But in the reversed universe, like if it wasn't so reversed, it's actually the conjunction of Saturn. It's actually means that you're a. See, for her, it means that you're physically capable of feats that nobody else is capable of. And she spent 19 years bedridden with multiple sclerosis. It just was, I know that, and we know that there's a cure to all of these things. It's a man-made disease. I hate to say it man-made, but it's something else that capitalizes on the illness of the organism, keeps us hanging like this, and it's under attack, and we are under, right now, I'm coming up with things that I take it deadly serious. I have a right to at all costs. I'm going to protect myself. I need support and protection. Thank you for what little has come in. If you like this video, like and subscribe. I'm going to keep doing it like this. We don't have to go through YouTube. We go like this. You hear my message and you just use PayPal. It's there, so available for us. The thing is you want to start making things go viral by, if I come up with something that is so kabloop to blop, like a five words phrase that you think that's an unlock. See, somebody here mentioned, here's a gem. Now, really, the gems are laced inside of my videos. I am reporting my overtake spiritually. Yes, we are dealing with, isn't it weird, the narcissistic thing? They're going to tell us that it's our fault that they have done what they've done to us, and they want you to apologize for what they've done to you, and then and don't you dare stand up and you will lose all of uh, your rights to live if you stand up to them. And what do you mean by that? Well, how? Okay, so this is a trip. I've never experienced this in my life, and it's so painful. And if the person watching this is listening to this, and you're trying to solve problems and stuff, if it's completely unconscious in you that you have now I wanted to expand this out and talk to the men. I don't know how many men are on here watching this, and if you might not have anything to do with this, but Have you noticed it? And you can't tell me that I'm imagining this. Right now I'm having somebody who's telling me that I'm imagining this. And it's like, no, I'm actually very ultra sensitive to this. I have managed to just go like, oh my God, I'm gonna put a lot of shit on hold. I can tell, as far as the man woman thing, because I want it to be at least like, I hate to come up with this, but I don't want to come up with this because there's no such thing as fairness, like thing, right? It's weird because of the money system, and it's like what I mean is like humane, like okay, so if we can, like say if we ever did want to play with each other, and very much it could come down to sex. See, I have made sure that I've never put my body on the line. I like to have fun. See, sex is a fun place. It's intense because, in fact, intense transformation comes out of it. It must come out of it, babes. We have so much to talk about. And if I find myself talking about it here, it's probably because it's just meant to be. It's like, Shauna, if you're to be a most motivational speaker and like a full round holistic person who has something to say here, aren't you going to talk about sex every once in a while? Especially, okay, what are we dealing with now? We're having the last of the North Node and the South Node in astrology. One is ruled by Venus, the other one is ruled by Mars, and that tends to bring up these issues for everybody. And the eclipses were in the Libra Aries axis, which is the Venus and Mars axis, which is our love life and our independent life kind of thing, and the balance between that, very real and beautiful, actually. There's something called balance that must happen. And then here, I'm sorry about this energy that I don't want to keep apologizing for how that. Actually, I am that first of all, and when I'm asking for support, I'm not asking for help, help. I've fallen and I can't get up. No, I believe I'm holding everything right now in order to just keep me having support. And I've put enough in. I know how the universe works. If you just keep chugging away, I've seen it with the most ridiculous things sometimes. With some artists, they just keep doing it and doing it. It's like, babe, it's elementary what you're doing. I mean, I have an art major for grandma, and you have to at least do a still life. But it has passed. I hate to tell you, but it has passed for appreciation anyway, getting attention. It's like most narcissists, their fucking goal is to get attention. And then what else? Money. And then you can automatically be put in that fucking pigeonhole. And I can't tell you how fucking exhausted I am. I just want a good friend in my life to literally to come to my door and say, "Man, not only see it doesn't have see it's really hard to get to know somebody after a while, like, right? Really? Don't you see I need the love in my life that I've always had. The one that says, I value you. See, things have gotten so strange, right? And I'm thinking, babes, do you see how I'm acting? And you know you have this in you. It's like, yeah, well, forget about relationships. Why is it like that? Well, what are we supposed to do here? It's a big besides for get a job and find out what to do with for money. And it's really not important what you do for money. It's what you do with it. Where you end up putting it. See, I have a chance to cash in on something big, and my last video talked about going to court over some things that happened in my community and just saying, because you people actually attacked me, and I feel it's attack. I feel that I am, see, and I feel like that there's a lot of people that know what I'm talking about in this town, and they're all just like under attack. My neighbor, that one too. Now I'm saying, hey, well, I got the answer. I'm just going to move. Nope. And my one Facebook thing we're doing this because it's social media, by the way. It is not a waste of time to get on social media and start saying nothing but you're honest. Ugh. And then you're going to risk being vulnerable. You're just gonna have to be mature and say, you know what, that's basically to handle the immature. You're gonna have to be above the immature because you're always gonna get these people that they're like, well, why don't you blah blah blah? It's like because I'm not gonna listen to you. I'm aiming for who knows who knows. I am aiming for what? I want you to understand the language that's here. There's a channel. Do you have a channel? See, there's another term that's more potent than what you see on your screens and even on your TV set that is called a channel. There are human beings that they know how to meditate and they get downloads from the cosmos that it's not new. We have a vast amount of, we can see that maybe we're losing intellectual property because what? We lost the phenomena of channeling. See, people who channel are our teachers. They're just a living example. They could be a musician. They channel music through them. They have instruments to do that for them. The more well built and pristine that that musical instrument is, the more that that musician that is musical, that has that ability, they have just music inside of them. It will, they will make this connection that just, it just plays them. They don't play it, it plays them. And so my intention is to inspire. When I do that, I have done that. If it's just one person that comes back to me after like 9 years, they said, you know what, I want you to know. And they made it to my place and they got a hold of me. They knew me before and it was weird. It's like because my mom started to die. People were starting to drop dead. And these kids were calling me. They said, we want you to join us. And they were really good musicians. But I felt I had to be present with my mother and all these other people, and for the sake of my brother too. He was going through such hell with his mom dying there. He was so close, right? And her caretaker, just things were compounding on me where I was like, wow, God, what are you doing to me? You'll just throw the fact that things are changing and it would just be a succession of the Pluto and Capricorn, which would prove for me that like at least 10 people died, includes one of my lovers that I'm sure he would have been back here, and he was so amazing. He was a legend in this area. And that's all you need is somebody who's like aware enough, who sees what's needed, and then before you even ask, they're on it. And they don't even, I mean, boy, you sure do miss them when they're gone, right? And it's not a codependency thing. It's more like they look at you and they love you. They keep falling in love with you over and over because you keep doing that with each other, because you're getting to know each other, because you're spending the time together. And we spent some hell of a good time together. And it's not always perfect, right? I mean, boy, I have my issues, but we worked through it. I remember it was the point where it's like right in the beginning, because I had told him, and I think it's the right thing. I said, look, man, you go, because when I saw what it was very serious, we were starting to get serious. I had to tell him, I had to tell him my dynamic with my dad and my mom. And that's what normal human beings do. They say, oh, but babe, this is the wiring we're working with. And please, like, don't do this and this unless, because, a lot of people see, it's kind of like with my mom, what I saw is that she did it the most peaceful way that she could, right? But that person was still very raging and, and, and just a bully. And he was a Taurus. Around about, well, it's near my Venetian degrees, what's interesting. And so I have maybe a little, I love them, I can, but it's like, whoa, you guys are bullies. No? The bull, you don't know about, you don't know astrology. See, you want to be, like a lot, they wouldn't like astrology, I guess, like because they're kind of selfish, and it would be surprising if they do. They're very, very mystical people. When they break through, because they do a high quality of it. They're very high quality oriented. Hi, little baby. Oh, I love you so much. And you're getting so much better. She's getting so much better about differentiating like what she should attack and what she shouldn't. She's so sweet. I'm so grateful for what works in my life, you know what I mean? And you want to keep that. I think women need to step up more and say that's how we're designed to be. And how does it show? I say it doesn't matter anything. You can go ahead and hang glide or don't hang glide. Just don't do anything or whatever. Do it all wrong. But when it comes to men and women getting together to have sex, there is where I don't know if you noticed, but it's like quality control time. Okay, no, but now, and if he doesn't like understand a certain patterning or something, you're gonna be like, because especially if he got it right, and then it's like, okay, well, let's do this again, right? You're like, yay, and you're getting your dopamine or whatever. Men and women are very different with that, by the way. But it complements. Like he's goal oriented, and you have to know that. He's like, well, what's the goal? And let him know. Well, there's a certain pattern you have to do. It's a certain like it's a game. It's a key, and once you get it, um, then you'll get what you want. Which don't you want to keep your wife? Well, learn how to have sex.